Hello there, Team Explorers. Welcome to the Oasis of Peace, our spot to feature on the Hotspot show here on KTN with me, Eustace Segete. Glad you are tuned in. I tell you, this is an episode that you ought to sit for the next 30 minutes because what is in here is mind-blowing, interesting to learn, and so much to look back, reminisce at what happened in the year 1998, and moving forward, how we carry on as a nation and everything. Now, starting this show is where I'm standing. Behind me is a debris of what happened during that period. But, Team Explorers, you know how we do it on the show. We have to call in someone to have a chat, have a conversation for us to dig deeper into the history of this memorial park situated right in the heart of CBD. I don't know about you, but listen, if you pass around the CBD of Nairobi and you never take a detour to come to this memorial park, this is a call to action. But listen, no worries. Please, Natasha is here and we are going to take this tour alongside her. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I am excited today.
We're excited too. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
My name is Natasha Mbugus. I'm the General Manager of the August 7th Memorial Park.
Yeah.
And our work is to keep this space open for public use, for public good, and for future generations to come and learn about the consequences of terrorism and the importance of living in unity and peace with one another.
Picking it from peace, peace nourishes peace. That's a quote I've picked from one of your benches. And we're on the outside. So much to read, so much to learn, starting from here. You know, first of all, this year 1998, what happened?
27 years ago, on August 7th, 1998, Kenya experienced the worst tragedy that happened at that particular time. Terrorists came into the city. They were trying to attack the US Embassy, and unfortunately, surrounding buildings were also affected due to the impact of the blast on that day. We lost over 200 Kenyans, thousands were injured, and there was another attack in Tanzania a few minutes later. So you can imagine, you just woke up in the morning, you're going about your day, you don't know what's going to happen, and then
it happens. Chills running through my body because 27 years feels as fresh, and this place was set up to commemorate that and of course to push the message of peace. Listen guys, you know how peaceful it is when you live in a peaceful environment. Now imagine years back and still this still lingers fresh in our minds and all that. First of all, condolences to all, you know, victims and people that were affected in this tragedy. We are here to explore this place as a whole because we need to learn. Now, picking from the history and all that, the embassy was situated here?
Yes.
Yes.
So the embassy was situated here, where the memorial park is.
Yeah.
And on the next side, we had the Ufundi building, which stood in between the embassy and cooperative house. And Ufundi building felt the complete wrath of the attack. But here, August 7, 2001, an oasis of peace was born, a symbol of national healing, a space that is open 365 days a year to members of the public. People walk in, they pay 50 shillings at the gate right there. They walk in to just sit, breathe, meet with their friends, have picnics, read a book.
Yeah.
We have free Wi-Fi, so the students come in to study, to work on their projects and proposals. Women empowerment groups, chamas, like it's a holistic space. We charge Kenyans and people from different walks of life every day.
Yeah.
And we have some cool features in the park as well. For example, this debris.
This one, I like
yeah.
that. What was a place of tragedy has been totally converted into a place of peace.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Now, so much story lies here.
Yes. This is our mind, body, and spirit sculpture.
Yeah.
It has pieces of debris in it from the attack. You can see on this side there's a door handle somewhere, pieces from the building, from the stones from the building, and it just reflects that our mind, body, and spirit were all affected on that day. And by the way, Yusta, another important feature of the park is our miniature hills that you see around.
The ones we're standing on.
The ones we're standing on. In fact, when we're having events, because we do host events in the park, people can hire out the garden for events. We've had weddings here as well. Anyway, so these miniature hills contain pieces of debris from the US Embassy and Ufundi building.
You mean underneath?
Underneath. Yeah, so even when people come into the garden, you're not allowed to pick a seat and put it on here. So because we don't want to tamper with the landscape in any way. So one of our guards will come and politely ask you to put your seat on the walkway.
Okay, so besides this, what else symbolizes, you know, the unity and everything that brings Kenya as a whole?
All our trees, all our plants are indigenous to different parts of Kenya to represent that every Kenyan was affected on that day by the attack. We have our rocks that align the walkways.
Picked by the riverbanks?
Different riverbeds from all over the country for the same symbolic meaning. And then we have our fountain in the yin and yang symbol, a symbol of life and balance. And even when people walk into the garden and the fountain is off, they tell us to switch it on because it adds to the tranquility of the space. And then we have the focal point of the park, which is the wall of names. It bears the names of the 218 who perished on that day, and that's our sacred space. We don't allow anyone to sit in front of the wall or any activity to happen in front of the wall. And when members of the public and visitors come to pay their respects, they lay a wreath, they lay their flowers on the wall.
I see that. And you know what, I was very particular when I was coming here. I chose green to also symbolize life, that there's still more life after that. Because listen, yet another quote that I've picked from you guys is that as a community, you really can endure anything. So long as you build a community, you really can endure everything. And that is what the 7th August Memorial Park has been achieving for the last 27 years. Now, those are just outside elements. I know people are wondering, hatuendi nani, we are not getting inside. But listen, you also always come to the outside first before you go to the inside. Now, that's just about it. Now, this place extensively, you know, even on the outside, has another story. The clock that is right ahead of me, quite symbolic as well. It stood the test of time.
Yes, it did. Time stood still on that day.
And literally meaning so.
Yes, that clock, it was there before. It stood, did not shake, did not draw, nothing. It stood.
It stood.
Yes.
So hey, if you pass around this place, ukiona ile city clock, please just know the rich history that it carries with it. I like the fact that it's still close by, but it's moving now. But that's quite symbolic as well.
We had flying glass all the way up from Cooperative Bank, flying all over the city. So people as far as Westlands, Mombasa Road, past South B. I have stories of people who live in South B who actually felt the debris. People as far as Westlands, debris, injured by the flying glass all over the place. So it was in kilometers and kilometers. And all our surrounding buildings were shattered. And the flying glass was specifically from Cooperative Bank.
All right. I know that is also what you've managed to capture and you have in your museum for people to come and see.
So it has pieces of glass, and each glass has a quote that talks about peace and reconciliation.
Oh, really?
And it reflects the flying glass from our Cooperative Bank on that day.
I've seen you have several seat points.
And each bench has a quote from a traditional African community. So we have the quote in the traditional language and the quote translated into Kenyan, so that the visitors and the students who come can at least understand and connect more with the space.
What it means.
Did you pick a quote yourself?
I picked, that's what I opened the show with. Peace is nourished by peace. But please read to us what is written on that bench that is right behind you. Go ahead, please. You read that. What does it say?
It says, boycotting does not build the family.
Boycotting does not build the family. Explains why we decided, you can just come back to the set, explains why we did not, rather Kenya did not boycott on setting this up, but we decided to put this up. Part 2 of the show, tutaingia ndani.
So every August 7th, we usually have a ceremony in the garden. So the victims and survivors come. And we have a ceremony where we have prayers and remembrance. We read out the names of all those who perished in Kenya and Tanzania. And then we lay flowers on the wall and we just get together and reflect on what happened that day.
I see that. And I had a sneak peek of the inside and I saw a wreath that you've preserved. You know, President Obama, former President Obama, had something to do with it.
Yes, President Obama has been here twice as US Senator and as President. And when we were redoing our museum, we do have a museum on the other side, we were trying to make it feel a bit more Kenyan. And so we preserved the wreath that he lay when he visited as President president because we felt that that is the most high-profile Kenyan who has ever visited the space, and to just make him feel at home.
Yeah, I see that despite this being a sad story, I like the balance of, you know, culture, art, heritage, our own people telling and owning the story, which I think makes this place even more relatable. And of course, the hotspots of choice, that is why we've decided to pick this show because, hey, listen, we not only go to places to explore, have fun, but we are also here to inform you, educate you, entertain you, and of course, redefine the whole meaning of adventure.
We were ranked second runner-up, safest public space in the city.
Wow.
Yeah.
I pick it from there, asking how do people access this place because they are wondering, which side of town are you talking about?
This is at railways.
Yeah, just
literally at railways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this is one of those famous corners that unaambia niko sawa kuja unikute hapa. And whether if you're ever looking for a place to chill and hang out and wait for someone, kuja finje. I mean, listen, you can use these grounds for that. Now, Natasha, I want us to just have a second of moment of silence, then take a break. I'll meet you again on the inside alongside with you, Team Explorers, because we ought to explore the museum. Well, thank you so much for that, and thank you for sticking around to this point. That was the exterior of 7th August Memorial Park. Chill. We are going to check out the inside. Please join me. Keep it the Hotspot Show here on KTN with me, Eustace Segete. See you in a jiffy. My message is on the wall, just like different messages of tens and hundreds of different people that always come here to commemorate what happened 27 years ago. Well, in here they ask you, where were you 27 years ago? Welcome back to this second part of this show on the Hotspot Show here on KTN. Glad you're still tuned in. Now, we've crossed over and we are on the inside. I'm told this is the talking wall where you get to write your thoughts, your well wishes, and of course, remembering the people that were affected with the bomb blast. Just sampling a few, we can see Life Without You Dad has been miserable. Rest in peace. We can see peace, God is love. I mean, different messages, and that is what this particular museum was built for, to remember what happened and of course to forge forward peace. So yeah, Team Explorers, Natasha is still with us on this one. Let's join her and get to listen what happens here. Natasha, yes, this place where voices of Kenyans sharing their personal stories of pain, loss, sorrow, survival, and hope. I had to read it as exact as is. Now, tell us what happens here because so much is written on the wall, so much has been captured.
This is our Peace Memorial Museum. So inside here we have stories of what happened on that day. We have pictures that tell the story, and we have stories from the victims who lost their loved ones on that day. And on this side, this is where Fundi building stood. So Fundi building was a 7-story building which felt the complete wrath of the attack, and it caved in. It collapsed.
What you're talking about is this?
Yes. In fact, just behind you, there's a clearer picture of Ufundi building. And most of the Kenyan casualties were actually from Ufundi building. In fact, we have Rose. Rose was nicknamed the candle in the wind because she's the last victim to be pulled out of Ufundi. She was trapped under the building for about a week, and she was just calling out, but by the time they got to her, she had already perished. So she had the whole world's attention.
What? Yeah. Crazy. Now, this is also the same room that upon a visit here, you get to sit on these beautiful benches that I'm seeing there, and you've clearly displayed or you have a summary of what happened. That's the first introduction bit before you take a tour around, is it?
Yes. Yeah. So once you come in and you enter the museum, we will bring you to the gallery where now you go through a timeline of events.
So, I mean, and I appreciate the fact that you still are on the African culture. I mean, these tools, Asante Sana, Africa, and the embroidery on it, I love the patterns, feels so homely. Back to this, I see, again, very different images. Fires here, victims crying. Tell us more.
So on your right, we have the pictures, and they tell a story. So they take you through the timeline of events on that day. So we start with the embassy and how it stood all those years ago, a picture of Ufundi building and how it looked on that particular day, and a photo of Ambassador Bushnell with the late Trade Minister Joseph Kamotho, who she was meeting on that fateful morning. In fact, when the attack happened, she was in his office at Cooperative Bank. And then we have a picture of the guard who met with the terrorists and actually had an altercation with them. First hand. He's the one who prevented them from going into the basement of the embassy. And he's a hero because if it were not for him, who knows what would have happened.
Crazy, and you tell us he's still alive.
He's still alive. He was injured. Pieces of Ufundi fell on his legs. So he walks with a limp till today, and he still works at the US Embassy. And then we have, you can see, survivors being pulled out of Cooperative House.
Oh yeah, I see. Crazy.
And a picture of President Moi, who showed up in minutes.
Like a flash.
A flash.
All right.
And then as we continue now, we have stories of what happened after. How the FBI came to investigate the attack and what happened to those who were involved.
Okay, all right. And more to that,
the
lady that we are seeing here,
she's holding her and her son as survivors from the attack, and this is after they went through reconstructive surgery.
All right, crazy. And of course, this is the whole significance of why this museum exists, because you can see this is, I mean, a member of family, probably their people commemorating their people, so peaceful and all that, and that is the significance of this entire piece, and I like how it is captured there. And then right in front of us, where I got that quote, you know, Kenyans sharing their stories and survival and hope and all that, amazingly so. Now, there's a beautiful bench, and I see Amani na Salama encrypted with different wordings from lessons and all that. There is a story because, I mean, everything is a story in here.
So the bench is significant because it adds to our theme of being more Kenyan. And so we also wanted to invite the younger generation to attract them to come in so they can connect more with this space.
Almost all the wars that have happened, not wars, but terror attacks that have happened in Kenya and beyond, including which countries?
Including Chad, including Syria, you know,
Tanzania,
New York,
of course.
Tanzania, of course, Cote d'Ivoire. So we've tried to capture a few of the countries that are victims of terror. And with more space, hopefully we can find more space where we can add more countries so that everyone can feel at home. Because most of the times you find students come and they're not aware that there was an attack in a particular country, and they point to it, go do the research, and it all leads them back to 9/11, then back to August 7. So we are all connected in one way or another.
I just read somewhere you also have captured on the wall the exact timings of this event. What time are we talking about? That block clearly has that time identified.
The terrorists planned this attack to the detail. So the attack was planned between 10:30 and 11 a.m. And back then there was a lot of, the traffic lights actually were working at the roundabout, and there was a lot of traffic that particular morning. So they knew it's morning, it's rush hour, people are coming into town, people are going about their business. That is when we hit them. And we have, you know, people tell me, I was in traffic coming into town, I was in traffic on Landis Road at Mudhurwa trying to come into town, and that traffic jam saved their lives.
What? Wow. Crazy.
Yes, as you head towards your right, we have our memorial room. Now, our memorial room is very sacred. It's a sacred space where now the families can come and just remember their loved ones. So we have the 218 names of those who perished inside there. We have the flags, 218 flags, each representing a life that was lost on that day. So we have 205 Kenyan flags, 12 American flags, a Rwandese flag, and a Greek flag. And then we have pieces of debris, some of which was donated by families, and some of which was collected on scene, and some removed from survivors. And we still have survivors who are living with glass and debris till today.
Crazy. But I mean, we are here to listen in and to just put ourselves in what happened that year, and we appreciate the fact that this exists, and that is why we brought you here, Team Explorers. What do I expect to see when I'm going up?
When you're going up, you'll find our Wall of Fame.
Wall of Fame, you say? Okay.
Yeah, a wall of visitors. It has different pictures of the leaders who've been here. We've been fortunate enough to receive a lot of international leaders. We have facilities on this side that we hire out for meetings. And so when you go upstairs, you'll find 2 meeting rooms. One that we dedicated in honor of the late Professor Wangari Maathai. Yeah. And then on the other side, we have a smaller room, our Nelson Mandela boardroom, that we also hire out for more corporate style meetings. Yeah.
Okay, I get that. Now, one would wonder, the fee of me entering this museum, is it any different from what I'm paying uko inje, ama the 50 will cater for even the tour inside?
So we have a different fee for this side just to help us maintain the building. You know, it still has running costs, electricity and all that. So once you come on this side, we charge 100 shillings for Kenyans, 50 shillings for students, and 150 shillings for non-residents.
Okay. Yeah. You're open Sunday through Sunday?
365 days.
All right. And I quoted that you open 6 to 6. Is it?
Yes.
Goodness, working around the clock.
Working around the clock.
All right. Personally, for how long have you worked here, and these messages and everything that is happening in here, how has it helped you to become a better person, especially in matters fostering peace?
I've been here for the last 8 years, and what I can tell you is working here has made me be more attentive to people, be more empathetic. I notice a lot. I pick up on a lot. You don't need to tell me that there's something wrong with you. I can easily notice that because I meet survivors and victims here every single day. I meet with people who are just sitting on the bench and they're just seated and you think they're okay. Yeah. You pass again, the person is crying.
Crying.
The person is praying. You find victims and survivors, they walk in, they just let go. Students just. So it's helped me be very attentive and empathetic. And so nowadays I take my time, I listen. I don't just hear you talking, I listen to you when you're speaking. And I'm never too busy for anybody. Even if I have to run somewhere and you want to see me, I'll wait. Because I don't know what it is you want to say. It could be important. And maybe you just needed me to listen to you. That could have been the one thing that made your day better. Yeah. So it's made me more grounded.
Okay, that's perfect. And lastly, you say we are highly discouraged from calling this place bomb blast.
Yes.
I mean, we know that lingo is out there, so much so that I'm here at bomb blast. So how then do we rightfully refer to this place?
August 7th Memorial Park.
As is?
Yes.
All right. Or simple Memorial Park?
Or simple Memorial Park.
Okay.
That's because the word bomb and blast are a trigger. So in fact, it's actually the survivors who are like, could you encourage people to stop calling it bomb blast? We have survivors who moved from where they used to live because they can't pass outside here. I have survivors who can't enter this museum because the pictures are too traumatic. So we try and make their life easier in any way we can.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you so much. That was profound. I know we've tried our very best to summarize everything within this time that we had on TV. And thank you so much for listening in. Please be guided that you do not refer to this place as bomb blast, rather 7th August Memorial, exactly the place where we've been exploring today here on the Hotspot Show alongside Natasha. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Hotspot Show here on KTN. You know what? Adventure never dies. And Meaning, see you next week, same time, but of course, a different hotspot. My name is Yusa Segeta, and from me and the amazing entire crew, we wish you a splendid time. And remember to always explore the world around you. Keep it KTN.